05:19 local time. The lights in the Combat Information Center dim on their own as the sonar picture tightens. No alarm, no announcement, just the small posture change every trained sailor feels before it's spoken. A single contact appears beneath the thermal layer. Clean. Almost too clean. No merchant clutter, no random mechanical chaos, no drifting interference. A disciplined acoustic signature holds depth and speed with purpose. It isn't wandering. It knows exactly where it is, and it wants the carrier group to know it is there. Above, the sea glitters in pale morning light. Flight operations are paused, not cancelled. The carrier continues forward under 100,000 tons of momentum, slicing the water as if nothing has changed. Yet everything has. In SIC, the sonar supervisor leans closer, tracking streams of data that refuse to break into anything casual or accidental. He calls the bearing without raising his voice. Another watchstander repeats it. Every word logged, every second time-stamped. The contact stays below the layer, using the ocean's temperature boundary like camouflage, present but shielded. Passive sonar confirms it, low frequency, steady, consistent. No panicked sprint, no frantic hiding, just calm proximity, close enough to matter, far enough to be deliberate. Condition 3 is set. Watertight integrity checks ripple through the ship with quiet efficiency. Stations are manned. Weapons remain cold. This is control, not reaction. The contact shifts, barely. A subtle climb, a minute roll, then steadies again. The sonar team records it immediately. Every change reads like a question. Are you listening? On the surface, escorts adjust formation by fractions, destroyers widening their spacing, a subtle screen taking shape. It's barely visible to anyone without training, but unmistakable to the people watching geometry for a living. A curtain is being drawn across the carrier's flanks. Analysts begin comparing blade rate and tonal patterns against stored libraries. The match is too precise to dismiss. This is not a tired diesel boat drifting near shipping lanes. This is a modern attack submarine with a confident crew and a carefully managed noise profile. A submarine that truly wants to disappear behaves differently. This one is communicating by presence alone, shadowing without apology. The sonar supervisor requests a brief active window. The request moves up the chain with the same restraint as everything else aboard. Approval returns quietly. One controlled ping is sent. The pulse cuts through the layer and returns clean. Steel. Solid. The contact does not flee. It corrects course slightly, another measured maneuver. The bearing tightens. The numbers settle. The analysts exchange glances that say more than any spoken warning. On the flight deck above, routine still looks routine, aircraft positioned, crews moving, engines warming. Then 5 Russian jets appear on the horizon, low, fast, deliberate. Not an attack profile, not yet, but presence is pressure. Sensors lock, track, tag. The bridge crew stays composed, flight ops remain paused. The ship holds course, nothing jerks, nothing flinches. Every second here is calculated and recorded. Inside SIC, the tactical picture becomes layered. The submarine below is one actor, the jets above are another. Geometry matters more than radio calls. Analysts overlay air tracks with underwater bearings, building a three-dimensional puzzle of risk and intent. The jets fly irregular patterns, testing reaction time, spacing, speed. The carrier's automated systems adjust, but human eyes own the decision-making. The escorts widen and tighten subtle screens as predictions update. It isn't chaos, it's orchestration. Procedures learned over years click into place with near-reflex precision. 520 local time. Another subtle change below. The submarine adjusts depth again, slightly sharper. The layer bends, returns, but not enough to hide its shape. The contact's behavior continues to read like conversation. Probe, pause, confirm. The strike group answers with silence and discipline. No escalation, no performative threat. Just correct positioning and steady speed. On the bridge, the officer in command watches the jet's trajectories. Low altitude, high speed, safe distance, barely. The combination of air and underwater presence creates a multi-domain pressure test. In SIC, teams cross-reference previous encounters, comparing signatures and flight paths against patterns. Every second matters because misinterpretation is how incidents begin. 521 local time. The contact makes another small correction. Not a sprint, not a dive, a probe. The watchstanders recognize the difference instantly. This is trained confidence, purposeful and controlled. The submarine holds speed and bearing like a statement. Above, the 5 jets sweep low across the horizon in precise formation, choreographed, calm, and unmistakably intentional. Optical feeds and radar overlays track every angle. The flight deck crews continue their routines with heightened awareness in the background, as if the ship itself is holding its breath. In SIC, jet vectors and submarine track lines are layered again. The strike group remains steady, slicing forward through calm water while every workstation measures pressure through geometry. Flight ops stay paused, not cancelled. The difference matters. It signals readiness without provocation. One jet dips slightly lower, skimming closer to the waterline. It's subtle, almost elegant, but it demands attention. Radar tracks it. The commanding officer watches without theatrics. No alarm, no shouted orders, just measured observation. It's chess at sea, played in silence, where a single misread move can turn routine into crisis. The sonar supervisor leans in again. Below, the submarine repeats its pattern. A slight climb, a slow return, a steady hold. Every maneuver is recorded, timed, compared. The shape of intent emerges through repetition, not random, not emotional, but carefully designed to test and to teach. The crew's confidence is visible in restraint. Meanwhile, the jets keep their low passes, testing patience and reaction timing. On deck, pilots tighten helmets and adjust gear. Machines hum. Human faces stay controlled. Threat doesn't need to be announced. Everyone feels it through the calmness that grows sharper under pressure. 522 local time. A new radar trace appears, minor at first, then defined. Analysts mark it and watch how the jets respond. It isn't a strike. It's shadowing, another layer of presence. The combined air and underwater pressure forms an invisible net around the carrier group. Every station moves in synchrony, drills manifesting as smooth routine. Weapons remain cold. The ship refuses to be baited into overreaction. The jets increase speed slightly and execute a low pass near the carrier's bow. The formation holds, close enough to be provocative, far enough to claim safety. Below, sonar recalculates distances, depths, possible vectors. Adjustments are noted. Countermeasures remain invisible to casual eyes. The submarine continues its steady shadow, unaffected by the aerial theater. Screens glow. Keystrokes click. The ship stays quiet. Quiet by design. Analysts compare fresh data against acoustic libraries, blade rates, harmonics, signatures. Each minor shift by the submarine or jets offers more information than long silence ever could. The exchange is controlled aggression without open hostility, measured signals intended to be seen, not fired. 523 local time. One jet climbs sharply, banks, then levels, smooth, deliberate, not hurried. It reads like a question. The bridge team logs the vector and timing. Below, the submarine holds bearing, holds depth, holds speed. Active ping remains unnecessary for the moment. The tension stays high, but it's contained, disciplined, and relentlessly observed. On the bridge, eyes track the sky. No gestures, no commentary. Observation only. In SIC, the sonar supervisor confirms the latest data with a quiet nod. The carrier continues as if nothing has changed, but nothing is untracked. The story is written in small shifts: wind, angles, depth, speed. The jets coordinate subtle sweeps across the strike group. The sonar team cross-references timing with acoustic disturbances and environmental changes. Each pass is a probe. Each return is a message. They measure response, patience, coordination. The submarine stays in shadow. The strike group holds its geometry like armor. 524 local time. Behavioral patterns are logged and grouped. Altitude changes above. Depth changes below. Timing intervals. Spacing. Two forces interact without direct connection. Yet the environment links them. Water, air, geometry. The subtlety is remarkable. The data tells a complete story even when the surface looks calm. The commanding officer remains quiet and unflinching. Flight operations remain paused, but readiness is immediate. Bridge, SIC, deck, three worlds moving in the same rhythm. The crew understands what matters. Sudden deviation creates accidents. Discipline prevents them. The strike group's composure becomes the response. 5:25 local time. A jet banks into another low pass. Almost simultaneously, the submarine adjusts depth by a small but meaningful amount. The pattern continues: probe and answer, presence and restraint. No weapons, no warnings, just a controlled demonstration of capability. The carrier holds course unaltered, fully aware. The situation is governed by patience, measured observation, and refusal to escalate. 526 local time. One jet executes a sharp low pass over the carrier's bow, close enough for crew members to glance up, not close enough to justify a mistake. Engines roar. Wind shifts, yet the human element remains composed. Every shadow and pressure change is absorbed into the ship's awareness and logged. Below the surface, the submarine performs another slow, deliberate climb and return. Passive sonar captures the subtle vibrations and tonal changes. The analysts do not celebrate, they note. This submarine isn't hiding, it's testing. Observing, communicating through posture and movement alone. 527 local time. A quiet alert notes minor deviations in flight paths that suggest coordinated intent, if not direct coordination. The commanding officer studies the overlays without drama. The jets maintain low altitude in synchronized patterns, sweeping the group with almost artistic precision. In CIC, the sonar team records yet another small adjustment below. Depth change, slight bearing correction, then steady hold. The contact's discipline remains the defining feature. Historical libraries are checked again. Blade rates, prop signatures, noise profiles. The conclusion tightens. A modern attack boat, skilled crew, confident position. Every detail suggests it could disappear if it wanted to, but it chooses not to. The message remains: we can be here, and you will know it. 528 local time. The jet's passes become faster, synchronized like a drill. Still no attack, only testing. They measure reaction times and predict response patterns. On the flight deck, readiness remains suspended but alive, helmets tightened, instruments checked, bodies positioned to move. The carrier continues forward unchanged, projecting steadiness without announcing it. In SIC, analysts layer simultaneous streams: jets, submarine, carrier sensors seeking patterns. The submarine's behavior remains precise, not aggressive. The jets provide a second pressure layer designed to test patience and coordination. The strike group answers with the same: stations manned, watertight checks maintained, weapons cold. Preparedness without provocation. 529 local time. A minor deviation occurs, one jet rises briefly, banking to align with another. The timing is subtle but meaningful. Analysts read intent in synchronization. Below, the submarine continues shadowing. Depth shifts minimal but deliberate. Every nuance is recorded because nuance is the language here. The bridge crew watches silently. Flight ops remain paused, readiness immediate. Calm becomes the tactic. 530 local time. The submarine executes a slightly sharper depth probe. Passive sonar catches it cleanly. Active ping is considered, then withheld. Analysts exchange brief looks. Restraint continues to be the point. Above, the jets intensify their low passes again, each swoop calculated. Radar and optical feeds track every line. Geometry dictates everything: speed, posture, position. The carrier holds course, absorbing each probe without letting it dictate behavior. 531 local time. One jet rises sharply, banks, levels, another silent challenge. In CIC, sonar updates depth, bearing, signature. The multi-layered puzzle remains: air pressure above, steel below, and a carrier group in the middle refusing to be pulled off its center. The precision of the opposing actions confirms professionalism on both sides. It's engagement without aggression, demanding control through presence. On the bridge, the commanding officer finally speaks, softly, without theatrics: maintain course, keep monitoring, no engagement. The instruction is calm because the system is already behaving that way. Every station continues as trained. Calm, measured, disciplined, control made visible through restraint. 532 local time. The jets begin to retreat slightly, maintaining formation while easing the pressure. Below, the submarine holds steady. No depth change, no sprint, no dramatic exit. Analysts confirm the pattern: probes delivered, responses measured, escalation avoided. The strike group's posture remains consistent, coordinated, and fully aware. 533 local time. Contacts are logged and reassessed. The jets rise and drift away from the immediate space. The submarine maintains shadowing at a safer distance. Tension eases slightly, but readiness does not collapse. Everyone understands what just happened: a controlled challenge, a test of patience and coordination under silent pressure. 534 local time. Flight operations resume. The shift is smooth, precise, synchronized, no hurried compensation, no overcorrection. Above, the sea glistens again as if nothing occurred. Beneath, the shadow remains, deliberate and calm. The jets fade toward the horizon. The carrier group continues forward, posture intact. In SIC, final observations are logged: depth changes, bearing shifts, aircraft timing, escort spacing. Analysts quietly discuss patterns and what they suggest for future encounters. No celebration, just professional closure. Discipline held without a single shot fired. 535 local time. On the bridge, reflection is minimal and controlled. The carrier slices through the ocean as if the last minutes were routine, yet everyone who watched the data knows they were not. Intent was communicated across domains, underwater, surface, sky, through posture and geometry rather than weapons. The crew maintained composure and dominance by refusing to be moved. 536 local time. The submarine continues its path with disciplined distance. The jets are gone. The incident becomes an archive entry, a training case, a set of patterns to teach. Every depth adjustment and low pass will be reviewed, internalized, and used to sharpen future watch teams. Calm prevails, but lessons remain. 537 local time. The ocean stretches wide beneath a higher sun. The strike group continues its patrol with the same forward momentum, the same measured rhythm. Below, the contact remains controlled, still present, still disciplined. This is the game: geometry, intent, and professional restraint. A dance across air and sea, played without aggression, without words, and without alarm.